Welcome to Careless Coder. Today we're going to be digital vandalists. Yeah. Motherfucker! Rolling. Since I was born, they couldn't hold me down. Another misfit kid, another burnout town. Never played by the rules, I never really care. My nasty reputation gets me everywhere. So that was Skid Row, Youth Gone Wild, which ties in with today's subject, digital vandalism of the 8 to 11 beacons, your Wi-Fi list. Now, is this legal what we're going to do? Yes, this is. Unlike what I used to do as a 14-year-old with a spray can and a bleak grey concrete wall, or in my early 20s with the first websites that I defaced, I just incriminated myself. Well, how we got to this point is my friend Maurice, who is still a working magician, bought this little gimmick which basically comes with a wireless access point that you log into, and you get a web page that mimics a login page on your phone, and you type, for example, 022, 2 of hearts, and it will then start spamming the beacon, and you will see that whole list also on the spectator's phone and people that are around you. And that's kind of cool, but not $250 cool in my opinion. So I was like, I can do that for about $5. $10 if we want to actually also keep controlling it when we're actually spamming, because that is something that a single WEMOS cannot do, because we're basically changing the whole access point when we start broadcasting out new addresses. Anyways, yeah, so I sat down, wrote it up, and it is so much fun spamming the airways with this. So let's jump in and have some SSID beacon fun. So this runs on a ESP826664 WEMOD D1 Mini. I'm actually waiting for the Mini Pro because that has a EEPROM in it, so I can store the last spoofed SSID, and then when you do not do something for a certain amount of time, we will just automatically start beaconing. That's currently not implemented. You need to fill something in on the web server that it will spawn on its own access point. And it will spawn that on an access point called hacker, and this is the password to connect to it, and that's the IP address. Then we have a channel. We have channels 1 through 14. So we'll set that on different channels for every packet that we send. And I believe it's this one that also sets the channel number. And this is the actual raw packet that we're sending. Now Claude helped me here. I was like, Claude, give me the 802.11 beacon packet with WPA2 in there. So he goes like, this is what it looks like, and this is what the fields are. So I knew that this is the length of our SSID. Maximum is 32. I set it automatically. I'm changing this one and overriding these. Then here we spawn that access point, and this is why in our situation, as soon as we start spamming, we cannot connect to the web server anymore, because we're actually, well, changing the access point that the WEMOS itself is running. We're changing the radio continuously. So I think that the guys that made the magic trick actually have 2 of these microcontrollers. One just running the web server and signaling the other to actually start spamming and to stop spamming. In our case, we just need to press the reset button on the WEMOS and wait until it's beaconing again, connect, and spam another one. So this is my function that actually fills in the whole raw packet. So everything that needs to be filled in that's not already filled in, we fill in the set SSID. So we put in a pointer to that SSID name that we're currently setting, a pointer to the packet and the channel number, and in the packet we fill in the random MAC addresses. Then we enable a WPA2, because it's kind of weird if you don't have WPA2 these days, because nobody actually has a clear non-protected access point. Wow, that was difficult to say. Here we do the SSID and we do +2, because I have this little trick here that allows me to actually, and this was the hard part for my project in this case, the guys in France that made the magic trick show you, for example, 3 of hearts, or King of Diamonds completely. And I'm like, yeah, but you're only allowed to have a single SSID, or you can have doubles, but it will only show you one of those. And I figured, what happens if I, after some other trial and error, what happens if I just send a non-blanking space right after my SSID, and then generate some random crap here, randomly, to fill out those 31 steps. And that actually hides everything that comes behind this. So it looks like you only have, for example, I love cock 20 times, when in actuality it's I love cock, non-blanking space, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. And this just appends that blah blah blah, that random stuff, to fill out the 32 steps. Now, as soon as we start, because here we already saw, we set up that Wi-Fi access point that we connect to, and we have the 2 handlers. This one isn't currently working. I already implemented in case I wanted to do with that second controller. So as soon as we connect to the root, we serve this web page. And there you fill in your text, and you click on that button that we created here. Where is it? There. And then it will call the base URL spam, and adjust SSID and the URL code. And here we just picked it up. So here I read that argument, SSID, and what comes behind it is what you entered in the text field. Nice and simple, didn't do anything too complicated on the website. As we're spamming this word, and often you don't even get to here, because we're already changing the access point before it actually has time to start doing it, because we set spamming to true, and this loop is actually already processing, so it says, oh, it's spamming true, but... And then the second time it comes here, the radio is already changed here, so yeah, it's not really listening, and sooner or later it will just drop out, so you connect to your own access point again, your standard. So that's basically the code. The magic is this one that Claude filled in for the majority, and I just filled in what needs to be changed, what needs to be randomized, and that non-blanking character. And then the shit that comes behind it, with this static that keeps track on where we are, and that's how we fake it. So let's have some fun. There we go. Here we see the hacker. It's a bit small, but I connect on that. Then we go to our browser, 192.168.1.1. We will get the page, and let's say I love cock. Not me, but hey. Right, so it's probably already spamming because we don't get there, and that works asynchronous because I first had that bit flag. Oh, there we go. We actually got through it this time. And let's look at our Wi-Fi's, other networks, and there we go. Every now and then there is a bit of crap that falls behind it, and this will continue to fill out. Now let me get my mobile phone and show you also on my mobile phone. And there we go. And this is really spamming it. That magic trick doesn't really spam it that much. So let's do another one. We'll reset it. Okay, we're connected again. Let's go back to our root page. And this is something fun that you can actually do at your job, for example, or at the local Starbucks or a hotel, especially when you put a little amplifying antenna on it. The WEMOS D1 Pro actually allows you to put an external antenna on it, which gives it a bit more oomph. So, for example, let's just say this is my downstairs neighbor, Burke228. Now he won't notice this because you connect on a technical ID, never on the name. But imagine that he buys a new phone and that he needs to connect to his Wi-Fi access point. Then the big question is, which one should he select? Now he knows that these that have some of the dirt behind there, every now and then that happens. Some bits droop over, I think. But yeah, try that. That is difficult to find where you need to connect to. Sorry, neighbor Ruud. Pick one, anyone. One of them is definitely yours. And I think it's the top one. Another cool thing, let's do that. You can put in some emojis. Go to 192.1.1. Yeah. I love pussy. I love pussy. And like I'm saying, I'm spamming this hard with this little thing. And there you go over here also. So we're all set up. We would have this thing in our pocket with a little battery bank. And then we walk into HR. Yo, Karen! Click on your access point list. And she goes like, my name is not Karen. No, really. Come on, Karen. Click on your access point list. And she goes like, what is this? Yeah, bitch. I quit, bitches. That would be really, really an original way to actually resign. I mean, that is cool. Now, in Japan, resigning is a hell, by the way. Because as soon as you hand in your letter of resignation, the managers, the CEOs, the whole board comes down at you. They actually have people that you can pay to resign for you because it's such a torment. Now this would be a nice one. Yo, CEO son, click on your access point. And he goes like, I quit, bitches. I quit, bitches. What does that mean? I quit, bitches. Later! And just walk out. I think that will be a really fun way to resign in Japan as well. So Japanese workers, you can use this. It's all yours. Code in the description. Just give a thumbs up. Yeah, you need to be creative with these sorts of things. You're tagging the airways. So there you have it. I also gave you a good original way to resign your stinking job at your big tech corporation. So let me know in the description how that went for you. Is this legal? Yes. You are allowed to advertise an access point. Now, is it decent? Not really. You're not being a, what we call on the airwaves, as a ham radio guy, you're not being a good citizen and not being a good neighbor. Because you take away some of that bandwidth and time in the spectrum. Now, luckily, this one is so low powered that I don't think that even my downstairs neighbor, Mr. Burke228, his house number 228, last name Burke, would actually pick this up. So I'm relatively comfortable doing it. If you have that WEMOS Mini Pro that you actually put on a high gain antenna, he would pick up some of those and it would be kind of annoying. So just be a good neighbor, only do it as a prank with smaller powered things like this WEMOS Mini D1. So that is how simple it is to actually send raw packets with the ESP8266 Wi-Fi header file. I hope you learned something. I hope you found a cool way to fuck with your friends and have some fun. The first time that a friend gets a new cell phone, this is the thing to do it. Put his own SSID name in there and spam it and go, what the fuck? What is happening? Yeah, you've gone wild.